Hi friends, welcome to your Fix Your Squats #2 workout. Today's workout, we're going to be just on the floor the whole time. So make sure you have a nice mat to work out on, something, maybe a little bit of cushion, even if it's a towel just to protect your knees, because we are going to be on our knees a little bit here and there, as well as on our back, on our sides. We're going to work all the way around our legs so that hopefully this will help you when you are getting back up from that squat position. It will also help you gain mobility in your hip area and your ankles so that those squats will look a little better. So just make sure that you have some water nearby, your mat, and we'll get started right away with our warm-up. So I'm just going to start my timer here. We're going to be working for 40 seconds at a time. We'll kind of transition. We'll use 20 seconds as a transition. Actually, I won't start the timer just yet. We're going to take some time to breathe. All right, so just sitting in a nice, comfortable position. Just make sure you're sitting up nice and straight and tall with a nice straight back. Pull your belly button in toward your spine. Your head is coming, your crown of your head kind of up toward that ceiling. And we're just going to take a nice deep breath in as you raise your arms up overhead. And then bring them back down by your sides as you breathe out. Let's do that again. And breathe out. Good. One more time here. And out. Good. All right, now we're just going to take one hand up and over to the side. Keep both sit bones on that floor. Just reach to the side as far as what's comfortable. Bring it back down. Other side here. Keep on breathing through this. Keep both sit bones on the floor. One more time each side. Breathe in here and out. All right, great job. We're going to get started with our warm-up. So I'm going to get you to get onto your knees. Just tuck your feet under. We're going to bring one leg forward. And you're just going to push that leg forward, raise your arms overhead, and then we're just going to have our heel up, or toe up, heel down, and just kind of stretch the back of that leg. Push forward and reach back. Good. Setting those hips forward, squeezing the glutes, sending the hips back here. Great job. Keep going. Nice deep breaths in and out. In and out. Great. One last one here. And sit back. All right, we're just going to do that on the other leg. So switch legs here. So I'm just going to bring my other leg forward this time. My toe is tucked under just to kind of get a little bit of more motion into my toes as well, because it always helps to kind of keep everything in motion here. So just reaching forward, squeezing our glutes as we come forward, pushing the hips forward, and then sitting the hips way back as we come back. Pushing forward, squeeze your glutes, and back. Great job. And it's okay, make sure that knee is in line with the toes, but it's okay if it goes over those toes a little bit. Keep on breathing here, in and out, stretch way up and back, forward and back, in and out with the breath. One last one, and rest. All right, just come in a seated position here, hands behind you, feet out in front, heels down. We're just going to kind of take a 90-90, keeping our hips, both of our sit bones on the floor, taking that 90-90 position, rotating our hips, and keeping the butt on the floor at all times. So we're just rotating, and if you need to kind of fix yourself at any time, you can bring your legs out a little wider if that feels more comfortable. Keeping your sit bones on the floor. And if your knee is not coming all the way to the floor, that's okay. Whatever your range of motion is right now, just kind of working on that, right? We're all a work in progress. You can even push up a little more with those hands if that feels comfortable. Keep on breathing through this. Good. We're going to come back onto our knees next. So come back onto your knees here. And we're just going to bring one leg out to the side, toe pointing forward. Keep that toe pointing forward. Try to get your whole foot onto the floor if you can. We're just going to have our hands under our shoulders to start, and then we're going to rock back. You're going to feel a nice stretch in your inner thigh here. Come forward, rock back. We're only here for 20 seconds, and then I'm going to switch legs. Keep breathing in and out. Rocking back, really feeling that nice stretch through our inner thigh. This is the last one. We're going to switch legs. So just bring that other leg, keep the toe pointing forward. Try to get the foot flat onto the floor. Coming back and forward, rocking back onto that foot. Coming forward, rock back, forward. Let's try one last one here. Rock back. And come forward. Great job. All right, we are going to get into the work here. So we're going to work our legs all the way around. So first of all, I'm going to get you to get into kind of what we call the quadruped position. So we have all four limbs on the floor. So our hand is under our shoulders here, and our knee is under our hips. And you're just going to bring, this is called a donkey kick. So you're going to bring the leg up and kick out straight to the back, keeping your back nice and flat, keeping your hips parallel to the floor. You're going to work the core as well. So we're going to do one leg first for the whole 40 seconds. So kicking out, think about your heel going toward the back wall, pressing like you're pressing something away from you. Squeeze your glute as you lift that leg and straighten it out. Try to straighten, straighten, straighten. Good job. Straighten that leg and bring it back under you. If you need breaks at any time, go ahead and take it. Try to keep your hips nice and still and quiet. Keep your back nice and straight here. And rest. We're just going to do that on the other side. So lifting the other knee this time. You can reset your hands under your shoulders, knee under your hips. We're pressing that heel, the other heel this time, toward the back room. That leg doesn't have to come up very high. About hip height or so to avoid arching that back. Keep the back nice and flat. So if I place a plate on your back, that plate stays there. Keep on breathing. Pushing that heel away toward the back of the room. Really press, 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 press. Keep on breathing here, in and out. Bring that belly button toward your spine, so keep the core engaged. Just a couple more here. And then we're going to sit right onto our butt. Bring the legs out in front. And if you need to lean back for this one, go ahead. If this is not a comfortable position, you can take a lean back a little bit. And we're just going to be lifting the legs right and left, alternating. So I want you to have your heels down, toes up, foot flexed. And really squeeze the quad muscle right here in the front. So you're straightening that leg and lifting that leg up. Doesn't have to come up very high, as you notice. My leg's not coming up very high, but I can sure feel that muscle engage right now. Keep on breathing in and out. If any time you need to take a break or come back a little further, that will kind of take the pressure off your hip flexor there. I know this is not an easy move. Keep on breathing. One last one and rest. Okay, the next exercise, just shake that out a little bit. We're going to lift, bring the knee in toward the chest, lift and lower. Lift, knee into the chest and lower. And remember, you can always come back a little ways. You can even come back onto your elbows if that's even more comfortable. Lift into the chest and lower. Really think about this muscle. Engage that muscle or squeeze it, tighten it up. As you press forward with that leg, And as you're lifting, you really want to straighten it and really squeeze this muscle in the front. Great job. Now you can come up a little higher if you want to. Just makes it a little bit harder. Lifting that leg. Whew. One last one on this side. And forward again. Great job. All right, we are coming down onto our side. Bending the knees. Maybe a 90-degree angle, 45-degree angle. Make sure your elbow is stacked right under your shoulder here. And we're just lifting that leg like a clamshell and then lowering. Lifting and lower. Keep on breathing. So right here is where you're working your side glute into that side leg, your leg abductor, the one that kind of pulls your leg away from you. Keep on breathing here. Bringing that leg up. And if you're comfortable, you can even lift and straighten it out and then bring it back down. Lift, straighten that heel, or heel goes toward that opposite wall. All right, we're just doing that on the other side. So I'm just gonna flip over here, maybe not so gracefully. All right, so that elbow is stacked under my shoulder. Remember, you have your knees slightly bent here, or even a 90-degree angle. Just lifting like a clam and lowering. Thinking about that muscle right here on the side of your leg. Keep on breathing. That glute med is working here. And then if you're comfortable with that, if you want to add in that little bit of a heel press and then come back down. So you lift a clam, press the heel, and then bring it back down. Lift a clam, press with the heel, keeping that foot kind of parallel to the floor, and rest. Okay, one more exercise and then we're going back to the top to do them all over again. But first, we're gonna lay on our back. Sorry about that. So here's where you could put a weight on your hips if you wanted to add in a weight. Have your feet about a foot away from your butt, and we're just going to lower our back into the floor. Squeeze your glutes, lift them up off the floor, squeeze them, and come back down. So really try to think about the small of your back, also coming to touch the ground, tucking your tail just under slightly. You don't really want to round too much here. Pressing your weight into your feet, into your heels. You're probably going to feel your hamstrings kick in there, the back of your leg, and your glutes. Keep on breathing as you press those hips up toward the ceiling and down. Okay, the next exercise, we are going to keep our hips up and we're going to bring our legs out and in and just keep pressing out and in. So your glutes are going to get a lot of work here. If you ever need to set them down for a minute and come back in, feel free to do that. So a little bit of a pelvic tilt here. You're going to squeeze your glutes to come up first. Then we're going to open our legs and close. Open and close. Keep on breathing. And here, you are able to, if you want to add a little something, you can always put a band just up above your knees, and that will definitely add a little something. You can pulse a little quicker, keeping those hips up. You can push these elbows into the ground as well, just to help you, give you a little bit more stability, and rest. Okay, good job. Whew, I was feeling that in the glutes and the hamstrings. We're back to the top. So I'm going to grab a sip of water. Back to those donkey kicks. So we are starting in that quadruped position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under hips, pressing, kicking back. After those glute bridges, I'm really feeling this in my glute as well. And you can not set that knee down this time. Each time you're just kind of hovering it above the floor. Make sure your back is nice and straight, your core is engaged, belly button is pulled toward your spine. Keep on breathing, pressing that heel toward the back of the room. Press, press. The harder you press, the more you're going to feel it in your glute. Woo! All right. Good job. Other leg. So we are just going to kick out. If you want to just take a little stretch back, just to kind of stretch out that glute muscle, and then come back up, tucking my toes under here. And the other leg this time, remember your hips stay parallel to the floor, nice and steady. Keep those hips really quiet here. Don't let them move. Back is nice and flat and straight. Don't arch the back. As you bring that leg up, it's only coming up to hip height at the very most. Doesn't even have to come up that high if that's not comfortable for you. Keep on breathing through this. And I know that leg that's down even, you're feeling it in the glute, because I definitely am. Lots of work being done. And rest. Okay. Leg lifts with our legs straight out in front. This is probably not my favorite, my least favorite, but it's got to be done. We want to work those quads as well. So remember, heels are down, toes are up. You're squeezing that quad muscle, lifting the leg, and then we're going to do that with the other leg. Remember, you can always come back a little further onto those hands. You can reach those hands a little back, or back a little further. Come back onto your elbows if you need to. The further up you sit, the more difficult it will be. Really engage that muscle. Really tighten it as you lift. Tighten and lift. Keep on breathing. If your wrists are hurting you, you can just make a fist and put your fist down onto the ground there. One last one on this side, and then shake that out. Whew, I know. I'm feeling it in the back of my body, feeling it in the front, even the side. We're getting the whole upper leg involved today. So the next exercise, you're just lifting that leg, pulling into your chest, and then lowering. And we're alternating lift and lower. Lift first, then bring it in. Good. Lift, pull in. Great. That's a tough thing. I know I want to avoid that lift. I just want to start bringing it in, but you want to lift first, then bring it in. Lift, pull in. Lift, pull in. Great job. Sit up a little higher if you can. Or you can come back a little lower if it's bothering your front of your legs. And rest. Okay, we are back onto our side here. I'm going to add in that little leg press out this time, but if you just want to stay with the clam, just remember, make sure your elbow is directly below your shoulder here, and the legs are bent here about a 90-degree angle, so you can keep that clam, or you can come with me and do that little press out and lower. Lift, press out, and lower. Lift to clam first, press out, and of course, you don't have to lift that leg very high to start feeling it. Great job. Now here's another spot where you can put a band around your legs right here, just above the knee. Add a little extra, so if the next time you go through this workout, you want to add in that band, just start with a light band and then maybe move up as feels comfortable. And rest. Okay, we are switching over, going to the other side. Keep on breathing here. Remember, always keep your core engaged. Elbow directly below your shoulder here. Knees at a bend. And then we are either coming to clam or coming to clam with that press. I'm kind of pressing my heel at the opposite wall. Press that heel out. Really engage the side muscle here. So you're pulling up to clam, pressing out. Ooh, forgot that clam. Yep, try to get that clam in there, press out. Clam to press out. Great job. Then hopefully it will flow. I'm going to try one last one here. Press out. Great job. All right, we are on our backs for our glute bridges. Remember, you're going to start feet about a foot away from your glutes. They can be hip width apart. Hands down here, you're going to press the small of your back into the floor to engage your glutes. Squeeze them and then come up as high as you can without arching your back, and then come back down. And if you want to just tap down and come right straight back up, you can do that as well. Push through the heels, push through the whole foot here as well. Keep on breathing, keep your glutes engaged, squeeze them as they come up. You can also add a weight here on your hips. Add just a little bit of weight to this movement. Keep on breathing. Great job. Almost there. And rest. All right, take this little break. We're going to bring our feet right tight together here. I know it's going to add a little something. All right, and this is where we come up into that bridge. So first you want to make sure the small of your back is down on the floor. Squeeze your glutes under you. Bring your hips up. And then we are bringing our legs apart and back together. Apart and together. Our feet are staying on the floor, keeping the hips up. Remember, you can take breaks, anchor those elbows down. You can maybe make those legs go a little quicker, kind of like a little pulse here. Pulse, 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 pulse. Woo, yep, feeling that. If you need to take a break, go ahead and lower your butt down to the ground and then come up whenever you're ready. 4 seconds. I know. Woo. All right. Rest. Bring that butt back down. Let's bring our knees into our chest very slowly and gently. Just bring them toward you here. You can kind of rock gently back and forth just to massage those glutes out. We're going to stretch it all out here in a second. Take a nice deep breath in and out. All right, I'm going to get you to lower one of your legs. Either you can put your foot on the floor or your whole leg, straighten it out, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And then just start straightening that other leg above you, up toward the ceiling. Only straighten it as far as what feels comfortable. You can hold you behind the big part of your leg here, your hamstring, or at your calf. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And if your whole leg is not on the floor when it's straight, the one that's on the floor here, then have a slight bend in it. That's perfectly fine. You'll find that it'll ease that pressure off the back of your leg here. You can also flex your foot here to bring it into the calf muscle. Stretch that out. And then we're going to change legs. So bring that leg down, either bent, bringing that other one up, or you can straighten that leg right down to the floor. Just make sure that it is on the floor. The quad or the calf is right on the floor. If it's kind of hovering, then I want you to bring that leg into a bent position. And you can hold either at your quad here or behind your thigh. That's your hamstring back here. And you can flex that foot to bring that stretch down into your calf muscle. Holding it here for a few more breaths, in and out. Good. One more breath. And out. And bend that knee. And you're just going to roll over onto your side here And we're just going to, you can bring your hand up and just kind of rest your head on your upper arm, and we're just going to try to grab the front of our foot, bring the knees together, and just kind of press your foot into your hand. Press your hips forward to feel a nice stretch in the front of your thigh. Nice deep breaths. Push that hip forward, 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 keeping the knees together over top of one another. Good. Keep on breathing. All right, we're going to do that on the other side. So we're just going to flip over here. Not really flipping. And rest your head onto that upper arm. We're going to grab the front of the foot here. Bring the knees together. Bringing the hips forward, pressing that foot into the hand. A lot to think about here. You should feel a nice stretch in the front of that thigh. Remember to push the knees together, pushing the hips forward, pushing that hand, the foot into the hand a little bit. Feeling that nice stretch. You can also stop pushing that hand or the foot into your hand and then see if your foot can touch your butt here. And rest. Good. All right, we're going to come up to seated position. All right, you can put one leg out in front of you. The other leg is going to cross over. And you're just going to, with your opposite hand, pull that leg in toward you, or even if you can get your elbow out there, not quite that flexible, and then bring your hand behind you. You're doing a little twist, looking behind, feeling a nice stretch in that outer thigh into the glute area here. Nice deep breaths in and out. Good. In and out. We're just going to do that on the other side. So the other leg comes straight down. This leg is going to come onto the other side of my knee. And then I'm just, with my opposite hand, pulling that knee toward my elbow here. And then my other arm is behind, just turning and stretching, keeping my butt on the floor, both sit bones on the floor. Keep on breathing in and out here. Just pressing, feeling that nice stretch in the outer thigh into that glute. One last stretch here. We're just going to do a figure four. So coming down, or just you can do this seated here. So I'm going to have both knees bent. I'm going to bring one knee or one leg over top of, up above my knee joint here, up onto my thigh, and just kind of pressing my hands, pressing my chest forward. Feel that stretch in the glute even more here. Keep on breathing in and out. If you want to see what it looks like from the front, just like this. Good. If you need a little more, you can always raise that toe up off the floor, the one that's on the floor. It just lifts that leg a little more toward you. And rest. All right, we're just going to do that with the other leg. So the other ankle kind of comes onto our thigh, pressing our chest forward. Keep on breathing. Let that knee fall outward. Great job. Feel that nice stretch in that outer thigh into the glute. And then I'm just going to lift that toe if that feels comfortable. If not, just keep it on the floor. Just stretches just a little more, gets into that glute area. Just a little deeper stretch there. Nice deep breath in and out. Great job. All right, now just take a nice comfortable seated position. Thank you for joining me today. Do this workout as often as you want. Well, give a little rest in between days. So, you know, you can do 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off if you want to, or just add it in twice a week. Whatever feels great to you. You can add in the weights or the bands with it to add a little more to it, and let me know how you make out with those squats. All right, bye everyone.